Has this ever happened to you? You're minding your own business, frolicking around in Overwatch, and boom! A big, fat, stinky, smelly loser, gross, obese, gargantuan, green Oro flies, shutty chubster hooks you, and you instantly eat and die. Well, you're not the only one. Here at Counterswap Incorporated, we have developed a solution. All you need is a dab of Orisa Gold from our luxury line. One application is all you'll need, and the piggies will be running for the hills. By purchasing using our drug, you agree to the terms and conditions, including selling yourself, having no friends, having no family, a stern talking to by the mother that you don't have, horrible and severe diarrhea, vomiting from shame, sore hands from skill takes the count swap, lightheadedness, nausea, drowsiness, fatigue, and last but not least, the absence of skill.
This is my Roadhog rework. I'm going to start with some adjustments to his existing abilities. Then I'm going to move on to a new ability which I'm going to give him. And then I will move on finally to perk changes and overall thoughts about Roadhog and where I personally want to shift his character identity to. So starting with adjustments, and you're going to have to hear me out on this one if you're a Hog main. You just please try and listen to what I have to say. Starting with adjustments to chain hook, we're going to start with the nerfs. And the nerfs I'm going to be giving is the cooldown is going to be increased to 9 seconds. It could be 8 seconds instead of 9, but that would have to go through gameplay changes, of course. Everything I'm going to say in this rework idea is, only hypothetical, and if I were to get hypothetically reached out to by Blizzard and go, "Hey buddy, we want your ideas of the game," then obviously there'd be lots of playtesting. I don't get the luxury of that, so, if you have any ideas on what you think I should do with the numbers, then tell me in the comments. But yeah, chain hook will be going to 9 seconds. Most prominently, what I want to do is I want to remove the stun from it, so it will no longer stun the target, enabling the use of your primary weapon and your abilities and ultimates that aren't movement based. Maybe not ultimates, but you can still use your abilities that aren't movement based. So like, let's say you're Ana and you get hooked in, then you can still sleep dart Hog, right? Or you can at least anti-heal him before you get like one shot, right? And then Hog has to actually kind of track abilities of people, so he can't just like hook for free, right? And then the last nerf of chain hook is I'm going to reduce the distance of chain hook by 25%. So that's going from 20 meter range to 15 meters, I believe. And this is also just to prevent the frustration of getting hooked across the map just because Hog can see you. Now it would feel like you actually need to be within his presence to get hooked, right? Because what sucks is when you poke your head around the corner for 1 second, he just goes, bang, one shot, right? But I'm going to be giving him some buffs, right? Some small ones. Chain hook will now keep the target immobile for, I'm thinking 0.3 to 0.5 seconds. So when he pulls you in and you're standing right next to him, that time is slightly extended. And the reason behind that is because I want to give the team of the Roadhog a higher chance to follow up on his hook. So my goals with these hook changes is to make hook more of a team reliant ability. Instead of hooking someone from across the map, they can't do anything about it and you one shot them. Now there's some counterplay to hook. Maybe your Hog, you get slept, but the target you've hooked can get finished off by your team now, right? And the last buff for chain hook would be an increased degree of freedom while you displace them. So Flats actually suggested this. This is where I got the idea from. I think it's a good idea. Basically, when you hook someone, you can spin around more. So if you hook someone, you would now be able to fling them all the way behind you, and you can have more freedom in placing people in different places, so you can get environmental kills easier, or you can, if a tank is attacking your team, you can hook them, spin around 180 degrees and put them back with their team to protect your teammates. Moving on to take a breather. The first nerf is I'm going to be introducing a 4-second cooldown. I think it has a 0.25 second cooldown right now, but I'd give it a 4-second visual cooldown, because I believe hogs don't get punished for like anything, and I think it could be interesting to introduce some thought of when you should use take a breather instead of just, oh, I took a little bit of damage, oh, I'm fat. Now you have to think, should I like half this to get back to full health after I've taken a bit of chip, or should I wait until I actually need the healing, right? Just introducing some thought to the ability. And I think this could be a controversial one, so you know, this is more of a more suggestive nerf that I don't think needs to be in the game, but I think it'll be nice to see that he heals 20% less while he's below half HP from Take a Breather, just to eliminate that frustration of when, oh my god, Hogs won, Hogs won, Hogs won, and he's not actually won because he has the Bruiser passive and he never dies. It's actually a joke between me and my friends who play Overwatch. There's a difference between someone who has won and a Roadhog has won. So when Roadhog's won, I'll ask my team, is he won or is he Roadhog won? Because even though it looks like his health is practically run out, you can just back to full health just by clicking. So, you know, I think it would be nice to make sure that he has to use his healing when he's not on death's door and he needs to use it preemptively instead of, uh-oh, my health's getting low. Right? But the buff I'm going to give it is it will instantly cleanse a new debuff called Noxious. And Noxious is a debuff inflicted by his new ability I'm going to be giving him. So now I know Overwatch players may not be the smartest people on the earth, and that's fine because I'm also an Overwatch player. But I'm going to be giving him a new ability, and you're going to have to lock in your brain, okay? So listen carefully, right? When clicking F, or I mean it can be any other key, but whatever. When you use the ability, you pull out a canister similar to the Take a Breather canister, though this one would be a dark, like, booger green. And he puts it in his little gas chamber and he begins huffing it, right? And you can huff it for up to 1.5 seconds. And it's like a noxious green gas. The ability is called carbon dioxide. But basically, for every 0.1 seconds you huff it, you inflict yourself with 15 noxious health. And what that basically means is noxious health is like green health, and it replaces your normal health. And this health deteriorates over time, right? So you lose 10 HP a second of noxious health. So imagine you use it, you huff it for maybe half a second, then you would get 75 noxious health, and that 75 health would deteriorate 10 seconds, would deteriorate 10 health every second until it's gone. And you'd also get a 20% movement reduction while like huffing this, and 40% damage reduction like when you're using Take a Breather. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, why the hell would I debuff myself and give myself damage over time effect for no reason? This ability sucks. You suck. Kill yourself. That's probably what you're thinking if you're a hog fan. But when you finish huffing this ability and you release, you like untoggle it, Hog releases the gas and blows it all in front of him in a large cone area of effect that doesn't reach up vertically. So he basically creates a giant like rolling smog of green chemical gas, and it does damage dependent on how long you huff it for. So for every 0.1 seconds you huff it, it does 5 damage and 5 noxious health, right? And when someone is hit by this attack and given noxious as a debuff, they have a 20% movement debuff. And the idea behind that is, you know, you can easier catch up to them with your shotgun, or it's easier to hook them. It would have a 5-second cooldown. The cooldown will be increased by 1 second for each point, for every 0.3 seconds you huff it, right? Also, this ability, when you give yourself Noxious health, it will cleanse other debuffs, though you are giving yourself a health debuff in itself. And now let me explain my thought process behind this ability. The problem with Hog is he falls into the category that a lot of people like to talk about, being called Feast or Famine. You either hook everyone on the team, you're hitting all your hooks, you're blasting people one shot, get this guy, one shot, never dying, right? And then you can have a bad Hog game where you get counter swap or you just miss all your hooks and it just feels like you're a massive tub of lard and you literally do nothing. And it just sucks, right? So by giving him a second active ability instead of a sort of passive ability that you're using, like Take a Breather, where it's just, oh, my health is low, let me heal. This allows you to be more than a giant walking hitbox that can occasionally one-shot someone. You can now sort of like take up space, you can displace people, and you just have more things to do, right? So the idea is, you know, not only can you remove some of your crippling weakness to anti-heal by, you know, self-imposing a debuff, you can now, like, oh, people are around the choke, instead of maybe hooking one person, I can go huff this thing, hit them all with a debuff and area effect damage, hook one of them, kill them, and because they're all slowed down, I can now catch up to them and finish them off, even though I don't have a hook cooldown, right? So I just think this ability could be interesting, because it still kind of goes into that fantasy of being this big, fat, stinky gas mask man with a hook, though you can still do things in the game and have impact when your hook is on cooldown, or if you're missing your hooks, making him more of a reliable and stable character. And yeah, I just think it's a cool idea. And finally, moving on to his perk changes. I'm introducing a new perk in place of Hogdrogen Exposure. And before you get mad at me, it's because I would be making Hogdrogen Exposure a base kit ability, because I think it would benefit Roadhog to make him more of a team player in the team game where you play with your teammates. So instead of being a fat DPS, you actually have a utility role as the tank, and you can just heal your team whenever you need them to be healed up, which I think is nice. I just think it will make Roadhog more of a team player and make him more of a tank instead of a fat DPS. Though the healing could be decreased to like 35% to 45% for balancing reasons, because it is a major perk, so you know, it could see some nerfs. And the major perk it will be replaced with is called Bad Breath, where for every target you hit with the Noxious debuff from the ability I described, Carbon Dioxide, every person you hit with that, you reduce the cooldown of Hook by 0.5 seconds, which sort of alleviates the Hook cooldown nerf to 9 seconds by ensuring you use your new ability, you know, correctly, right? Which, I mean, could still be annoying because it sort of eliminates the nerf I already gave Roadhog, but, you know, it rewards the Hog for actually using his abilities properly, and I think it could be, I don't know, I just think it'd be fun. And yeah, that's about it, honestly. I think, in conclusion, currently Hog is too much of a self-centered character, and he doesn't benefit the team as much as a tank, and he is often described as a fat DPS. And I don't think that's very healthy for the game, especially because when Hog is locked, no one is having fun except the Hog player. And sometimes not even the Hog player is having fun, and he's also making sure no one else has fun. Because when you're on Hog, you're not helping your team at all, so your team doesn't like you playing Hog, because it's like, oh my god, this guy is going to just miss all his hooks and be useless. And the enemy team isn't having fun, because you're one-tapping, you're one-shotting them. No one likes one-shots, as evident with Hanzo. No one, well, I don't like Hanzo. I don't think a lot of other people like Hanzo. Maybe I'll do a Hanzo rework if people show support to this video, or honestly, put in the comments which character you'd like to see me try and rework next if you think there's a character that desperately needs use a rework, I'll do them. But yeah, in conclusion, I think Hog right now is too self-centered, and this rework advocates for him to be more of a team player, with Hog through Jane Exposure being base kit, and his hook being more of a team-focused ability, having less stun and, you know, mechanics that instantly condemn someone to death, instead replacing it with more team utility, being able to displace targets, stunning them movement-wise for slightly longer so your team can follow up on it, and having carbon dioxide, you know, which allows the slowing of the enemy team so your team can close in, especially if you're playing a brawl comp, and gives him more stuff to do than just hook people, so you don't fall into the trap of, oh, I hate that this Hog's on my team because he can't hit any of his hooks, and now he's useless. At least if your Hog isn't hitting hooks, he still has the area effect threat that he can use to control the team, and can actually control the flow of fights as a tank, which, if he's missing his hooks, he is not doing. But yeah, that's it. That is my Hog rework. I hope you guys enjoyed. I don't think I've actually ever asked this before on my YouTube channel, but it would help out a lot if you guys subscribe, liked, click any pretty button on the screen to boost my engagement. That would be nice. Thank you. This is kind of crazy, but I checked my analytics the other day, and it said like 101% of people aren't subscribed. I don't even know how that's possible. If I find the image, I'll put it up. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with this Hog rework. I'll probably do more in the future. I hope you guys have had a good day, or night, or evening. So if I don't see you, good morning, good evening, and good night.